Happy New Year's, boys. Happy New Year's.
Man, you ain't gonna be that happy, bro. Relax, man.
Yeah. Well, Happy New Year's, listeners.
Actually, love, bro. What are you happy about?
I knew you were gonna say that.
What are
you so happy for?
What is happy of this year?
What? So happy about this.
What's so happy about this year?
Nah, I'm kidding, bro. Happy New Year, my bro.
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year, guys.
New Year,
All them things there, bro.
Oh, it's only the what's the day?
16th.
It's only the 16th of January, and you know it seems that the boys already given up on the year. So let's just
Somebody already said yeah to 2024.
Let's just my 2023 starts next year.
Yeah.
Liberty, let's rejig the energy. Number one. Number two. Actually, no, we'll go rejig the energy first, and then we'll go to what I was about to say. So again, yeah, Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year, boys.
Happy New Year.
It's a good year.
Good year.
Yo, blessings.
Amen.
Amen, man.
Amen, man.
As you guys can hear, I'm so happy because I'm eating. Just it wasn't clear.
The thing is, it's not even sounding to me, you know. I can't hear nothing.
I was being dumb, but yeah. Happy New Year, listeners.
Someone said the MCR. What's that thing that noise?
AMSR.
I said MCR.
Yeah, I was gonna say, these man. Did you know that there's an actual day called Blue Monday? Did you know that?
On my life today was the first day hearing it.
I heard it today as
Blue
well. And I was
Monday.
like,
What does that mean?
Which one's? That's
So-
the same question.
essentially, like,
No, but
there's like obviously, I think after January, there's like a dip. After December, there's a dip in sort of like
Morale.
people's morale, or motivation to work. Sort of like, so usually it's like, you know, when we go back to school after like Christmas, like, or like maybe going back to school after, maybe after, when you have the summer break, you're kind of keen to go back to school again because it's been such a long time. But I think after Christmas, you're not always so keen to go back to school. That kind of thing, but for adults, if that makes sense. And usually, I think there's statistics saying that around about the first day back after Christmas to sort of like the first working day back after Christmas is usually one of the days where a lot of people drop, or that first week, people drop a lot of their resignations. They've gone,
had enough.
They go and find new jobs. Like their new year, they want something new.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? They're trying to start again. And then obviously, the other thing is that like it's also like a depressing time because people have this, you know, these highs during Christmas, and then they come back to the low of maybe a job that they don't like or stuff like that. And so like I think there was a calculation from a few years ago saying that right about the midway through January is usually like the Blue Monday. I think some people usually take the first 2 weeks off or the first week off. I think by this Monday is when everybody's fully back to work. Do you know what I mean? And it's then tagged Blue Monday.
Oh.
I think the way my colleague explained to me is the third Monday after Christmas. I'm not sure if that adds up.
Okay, yeah,
or,
it does.
or something along those lines. But yeah, it's the first time we're hearing it.
So the third Monday after
Christmas
is always Blue Monday, is what they said.
Yeah, I think so.
Did they go further into
calculate
explaining
that?
anything else? No.
It's one of them things that, you know, people, I was going to say make up and run with, but
I think I've read stuff to say there's statistics to back around, like, you know, people wanting new things because of the new year and them feeling that, adding to the feeling of, you know, the Blue Monday thing. And yeah, I saw that thing this morning. I was like, on God Day, if you just allow anything to be the culture of the day, you know, you motivate yourself into a rut. Like if you just accepted everything that everyone said, you probably you die of depression. Blue Monday, you know, you're just here trying to manage your job. You know, make ends meet
day by day.
Someone's giving you a reason to be depressed to go to work, like it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? I'm giving it a whole name.
Blue Monday.
And now we all run by it. God damn it.
No,
Oh gosh.
Oh no, let us see it. But yeah, so apparently that was what today is. Me, I said nonsense and rubbish. Funny enough, like I was ill today, so I couldn't go into work. Thank God I'm feeling better now. Enough to pod.
Not enough to work, but enough to pod.
Yeah, fam, you know how it goes, man.
Yeah, that's a key distinguishment though.
You know how it goes. Even if it was enough to work, I didn't take any of my maybe I took one or two sick days last year. Maybe one even. I don't think I took, and I have 5.
Bro.
I don't even know this number. I don't think I've taken a sick day before.
Fair.
Ever.
Oh,
In
you
my
man ain't really lived.
in my old job, I used to take I used to have 5 sick days as well. So if I was each quarter, I'll take a sick day.
Yeah.
Even if
You know.
You know?
and I'm ill. And that was pre-pandemic,
Yeah.
and that was also when. So obviously pre-pandemic, in my job I didn't work from home. There was never a chance to work from home. So those quote unquote sick days where I wasn't ill were days that I just took for myself to have like a day
to
in or
yourself.
whatever. Yeah, and it's like a free, like it's paid. It's
Yeah.
a paid.
So
So,
yeah,
I used to take them. Yeah.
Yeah, me, I used to just build up to it. Like, I'll just keep thinking, I'm not ready this week. Like, depending on how I wake up in the morning, feel like, you know what?
Here's
I
the
can
sick
crank
day.
out 8 hours today. And some mornings I'll wake up and I'll be like, yeah, today's the
Today's
day.
the sick day. Ding 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 ding.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So the throat is bad and
Bro.
me, I'll be taking them.
The only reason I'm saying this new job is because this new job I have the chance to work from home. So
Yeah.
then, so
That's nice though.
what would usually be a sick day would be one of them days you work from home when, well, you're not really working from home. Let's just put it that way.
No care.
When my old job, yeah, I actually forgot I used to do that quite a bit. I remember there was one sick day where I planned it with the lady I was with at the time. But yeah, I just remembered, yeah.
That coup d'etat.
No, like as in like planned to use the sick day to go out. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. Cool.
Did you
Both
say
of
cool?
you,
Yeah, that's funny.
you know what I mean?
It's like when last time you had the sick day? I said it's been like 2 months. I said,
Come, let's take a sick day
so
tomorrow.
let's do it again, man. Let's do it again. So morning, mate. Feeling quite run down today. We'll be able to make it in.
Feeling a bit rough, eh?
Yeah, hopefully.
5 minutes later, hi Jessica. Sorry, just want to call and say I'm not gonna be able to make it in today.
Hopefully, I'll be feeling a lot better tomorrow. Yeah, I'll let you know how I get on. Woo! Let's go gun range.
Curry is crazy.
To be fair, now it's calm. I remember before calling sick used to feel like I was in trouble.
Sick.
Like-
So earlier on when I first started working, I used to feel that way as well.
I used to be like, yeah, you know, when you're younger at school,
That's what I was about to
it's
say.
any reason, like your parents will make you go into school,
Whatever
rain,
happens.
like fire, whatever it is, you're getting to school, and that just carried on over.
I think it's because of programming of school, you know. I think it's because of like how like attendance was made such a thing in schools. So
showing up,
and I think they train us like rat in labs to be like that.
Yeah,
So that by the time we get to the working world, we feel
used
that
to it.
guilt.
yeah, you just have to
But
be in every day.
there's bare differences. Like even I remember punctuality was punctuality.
Oh yeah. To be fair, you know what's funny? I hear punctuality more than I hear attendance.
Huh?
I hear punctuality more than
But
I
on
hear.
my life, I'm never on time. No. Okay, let me rephrase.
That's a problem, my nigga.
No. Not that I'm never on time, but there isn't really like. Well, for me, there's not really a set time for you to be there. Like I think people flutter in between the time of like 9 and 10.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about your workplace.
Yeah.
But no. So basically, in regards to punctuality, what I'm also meaning is that like punctuality can be 8 o'clock or it can be 9 or 10, but it's basically a case of that if you say you're going to be in by 8:30, let me trust that your 8:30 is 8:30. Do you get it?
Yes.
But if you say you're going to be in at 8, and that can be different for different people.
So, but
Like,
obviously, so you don't take the piss, but there's no like. Obviously, you have your well. For me, I have my internal time of when I log in, but for the majority of the part, if I log in between the times of 9 and 10, no one blinks an eye, and that's like varsity for most people. And like, if you log out slightly, like that, the way they made time such a necessity in school, it's not the same thing.
because when you get older, it's all like flexibility. That's the ironic thing.
I don't know though. I'm going into a new role now, and I think it might be different.
Congratulations, bro.
Honestly,
Thank you.
Congratulations, Connor. That was even leading on to us. Thanks. That was leading on to one of the things I was going to say. I was going to say, reflections from last year, anything to look forward to this year.
Oh,
And I guess that's one thing for Connor in terms of looking forward to.
yeah, thank you. Reflections from last year.
Yeah, like what was your highlights of 2022?
What a tough year, man. I don't know how to explain it. Like you two look so fed up of me because they're so pessimistic, isn't it? But I'm just saying,
2022 was interesting. I'll give you that, bro.
the only thing I'm gonna say is that like I guess I've had tougher years. I've had worse years, isn't it? So
Which I've lived.
2021 was it shook me to my bones. So like last year it's like, alright, you know what I mean? It's okay, it'll be fine.
And you've lived through it once, isn't it?
Yeah. But like highlights of last year. There was a few of my remember I was saying at the beginning of the year that I really want to work on immaterial things that I have to do in my character really to build myself up. That's not the words I put it in, but I was like, I kept saying that there are these targets I used to have that by the time I was 25, 26, that I want to be there, and I got some of them and it didn't fulfill me. So I'm kind of more after the things that are not so that intangible, but they're quite fulfilling. And I feel like I touched on some of them, which was just recognizing what it is about me to help get sort of fulfilling relationships or all around the board. And all through the year I fell off and I messed up a lot of my relationships, but like I think one of the things that I really learn how to do is how to also reconcile them, learn a lot of humility. So in that way of sort of like some sort of character building, I feel like there was so much to gain from last year, a lot to be taught. I became a more honest, more transparent. In certain places I became more deceitful. That's what's crazy enough, but you know, it's life.
Balance though, no?
I guess so. You have to work on yourself.
I think that's a good important skill though. Humility. Like I think that's the key. I think that's a good skill to like learn and develop as an individual.
Bro, life humbles you if you don't humble yourself.
Good point.
On God, so let me see. Yeah, career wise, I progressed and I've got this new opportunity to, you know, progress as a senior in my job. So we thank God for that.
It's just colour properly, man.
I don't know, that's 0.
You know what I mean? His pronouns are Mister and Boss. Feel me?
What else? I think, do you know what's crazy? Remember at the beginning of last year, this was even one of my goals, to be fair, but I was talking about traveling quite a bit. And I managed to travel, thanks to the gentleman sitting over here. But
Lanza.
I traveled 3 times last year. That's more than I've traveled in the past like 5 years of my life. Because remember, I was the one that never been anywhere.
Yeah, no, facts.
Went Netherlands for my mom's graduation. Went Greece for my birthday.
Come on.
And I went Lanzarote for Joe's birthday.
You have to chop life, bro.
Chop life.
Don't let life chop you. That's the motto.
Oh, where's my once said?
Don't let life chop you.
And I think I definitely fulfilled one of my goals to fix a major weakness in my life last year. So yeah, those are the highlights. I'm trying to remember what else. Yeah, this is the highlights of the year. Don't sound too chuffed, but forgive me, I'm a bit ill.
It's even difficult to kind of think retrospectively about what you did the previous year. One thing I was gonna say I wanted to get into, or what I do actually. This for everyone out there in it. Try documenting. You find that is very woman-driven type of thing. Or if you try and document, like you said, affirmations that you want to on actual physical form, then like the day before New Year, you kind of tick shit off as you're gonna know. Or like you kind of do it in many ways. So this year I wrote a letter to myself for 5 years time. And I then
did that as well. Well, not for 5 years, for 1 year.
Yeah,
and then so obviously you do it for 1 year, or you do it however long, but I did it to mark like a next keystone for in my life, and then I scheduled it to email me on my birthday at that time.
That's it.
And then I kind of, on that email, you can't just list where you're at now and where you hope or where you know you're going to be by the time you read that email. And then when your future self reads it, you can kind of, it's easy to retrospectively think about how life was then and how far you've come and whether you've exceeded your expectations or your hopes or your prayers for what you were.
100%.
Scary though, isn't it?
Bro.
Like it's such a daunting thing, isn't it? I remember writing that letter and I was just sitting there thinking to myself, I want this and I want this.
Bro.
And one of the best quotes that I've seen, but it's also pretty irrational. Like, for all the motivational stuff that you see on the internet, there's the flip side of it that is kind of like the logical side of it that you always just have to consider, like just to a degree. So like I remember like one thing I saw was that like, and it's one of my favorite quotes actually, where it was like, I strongly believe that to have. In fact, I'm going to find it because I want to say the exact thing, but it was something along the lines of, I strongly believe that to have the life that you want, you have to be unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember looking at it and I was like, oh, right, that's hard. And then at the same time, I was like, well, yeah, it was like being realistic is the last thing you should try to be if you want to have a great life. And then I thought, oh yeah, that's sick. And then at the same time, I was like, well, you can't follow everything blindly. But like you said, innit, like I guess to really push yourself to like the place that you want to be and that you decide that you deserve to be, you can't just settle. You kind of have to keep pushing.
Even like, well, because realistic. When you look at what's realistic, I would say you look at what's realistic. You look at what you are living now. I think it's hard to put what you want or how you want to live in the future in the boundaries of realism. It's hard. Like if you want to travel the world, people would even like if I go have a conversation with my mum right now and be like, oh, I want to travel South Asia for 6 months. What's the realisticness of me doing that? But
people be doing that. One girl in my workplace, she's about to go traveling for the next 3 months.
Bro, I low-key wish I did it.
For like 5 different countries.
Yeah, straight from thingy.
Weeks each, yeah. That's the type of thing I can imagine you saying that you do, to be fair.
Before I went uni, I should have done it.
Oh, okay. At this stage in your life now, you don't think you could?
Yeah, I think there's too much I want to do. There's too many things I planned that I'm going to do within the next 5 years for me to
take out such a big chunk.
Yeah. And it wouldn't be for 6 months. It'd probably be, well, no, it would be for 6 months. But yeah, 6 months is still a long time.
Yeah, I mean, she's going for 3 months, but even still. Like, I know I could never do that. Not right now, not anytime soon.
Yeah. Speak to me like 5 years and see what the money's saying. See what the money's saying.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what would you say your highlights for last year were then? If you can remember any.
Funny enough, yeah, I did a vision board. I remember it very vividly. I did a vision board on New Year's Eve of 2021. And I remember like I put specific things in specific corners in it. And like I retrospectively look back at the vision board and I was able to kind of highlight everything that I've done. So like I think I wanted a new whiz. No, I think I wanted a new whiz. I wanted that badly. And I knew what. I knew exactly what whiz I wanted. I wanted a new whiz, and I said, and I put that whiz there, pium pium, and then I got the car like 8 days into January or something dumb. Like it was so
hard.
It was so like manifestations. Like you're speaking shit into like existence in it. So even something small like gym or health. I think I put health and gym because I've been going gym for a minute, but consistency is a thing in it. Probably the most consistent I've been in gym last year. Holidays. I put holidays. You might think I traveled to 5 different countries last year.
What did you plan?
I had no number in my mind. If I'm being honest, I had no number in my mind. But I know I wanted it to be more than the year before. And I put on average I'll probably go New York and some other place or something. Last year I went France, I went Monaco, I went New York, Miami, I went Lanzarote. Like it was just so highlight is
5 beats my 1.
Huh?
So your 5 beats my 1.
But it depends what you prioritize, isn't it? Like, I prioritize that shit. The money was pretty boy empty pockets. That's what happened after. But I prioritize that.
Is the pretty boy.
But yeah, that's the highlight. Seeing everything come to fruition.
Sick. My highlights. Graduated.
Bang bang.
Yeah.
Wait, let's. We're gonna come back to that part.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I remember thinking to myself, I was like, maybe I should have gone to my graduation. But I was so over it.
I wore it once. Why am I doing that for again?
No, I remember like a couple months after. To be fair, it's FOMO, isn't it? FOMO kicks your ass,
bro.
I remember seeing my peers put up their graduation pictures. I was like,
that's nice.
I guess it would have been nice.
That's nice.
Like you had the ticket, you had to just turn up in a suit. That's all you had to do, man.
Just get a trim and turn up, really. But
it was even free.
It was even free. Do you get it? But nonetheless, I graduated, which was a big thing actually. Started working full time. Apart from that, yeah, the stuff I'd say, I don't even know if the things I just said now will count as tangibles. But like the key things I think for me last year were kind of like the intangibles. So like I learned a lot about myself in regards to like personal discipline, and also like your personal discipline and kind of like how I manage situations like financially, friendships wise. Like I don't know, I feel like it sounds a bit strange, yeah. But I feel like I got to understand myself at a completely different level last year. Maybe it's because I was turning 25 and there's that whole thing about when you turn 25, like, ooh, 25. Like, do you know what I mean? And to be fair, it is a thing. We should actually unpack that shortly, innit, yeah. But I think, yeah, it was a real eye-opener for me just in terms of, like, do I like the person I'm becoming?
That's a big thing, bro.
And I think there were many things, which ironically, I don't think I started to think too much about until December. Anyway, that's the funny thing. But there were many things and patterns that I noticed in myself, which I might have picked up earlier, but I ignored or downplayed. And that when I was reviewing the year, I thought, oh, okay, yeah, 2023, this is what changed. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was just like certain disciplines, certain. It's largely. It all kind of falls under disciplines to be fair. But obviously, there's many different strands to it, innit? But that was the main thing. But just applying that across like my life in terms of like financially, relationships. There was one more word I was gonna say, but I forgot it now. But yeah, that's
probably one of the most valuable things, though. Like learning more about yourself, especially if something in relation to this, because like. It's something in relation to discipline because it affects everything else. So 25, I don't know what word it is about 25, but 25. I don't know. Maybe you
young
learn
life
a lot.
Crisis.
or something like that. But when you're able to, because I would say I had the same. I was gonna say epiphany. You kind of look at yourself.
I guess, yeah.
But you kind of look at yourself. You kind of like, what do you like about yourself? What don't you like about yourself? And not on like a physical. Physical is very physical too, but more like.
I think.
Yeah, mental and emotional.
Not to do the whole cliche thing, but I think as men, you worry less about what you like about yourself physically just because you don't think that is like what you're valued upon. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Innit?
Like you lean more. Well, it's kind of, I was gonna say vanity now, but you lean further away from vanity and more to, what do you have to offer? Not even in the relationship, but like in the world.
Yeah,
what do you have to offer? If you see, someone you look up to, they can say they have this to offer. What do you have? Like, what do you pride yourself on?
Yeah, what, like, if someone wants to sit down and describe you, how would they describe you? Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean, innit? And I started thinking about that a lot, and I was like, how well would I like this? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how well would I like the description that people give of me? Real. Like, certain aspects, yeah. And,
how your friends describe you, how will your enemies even describe you? Like,
do you know what I mean, innit?
Like, people that don't like you, like, what do they have to say about you?
What impressions do people first get of you when they see you? Like, all those little things, innit? They just became a bit.
Not to say that you should care what people think, but it's more like you need to understand what type of reflection you're showing outwards,
and I guess there's a balance, innit?
Yeah.
Like, you should never care what people think, so that it's to the detriment of
your development
of your own enjoyment. But I think you should certainly have an awareness of how you present yourself to
definitely
the world. Do you know what I mean? Innit? Yeah.
It's a lot of deep stuff talked about there, guys.
It wasn't meant to go like this. I'm so sorry.
No, there's nothing to apologize. I feel like, do you know what I mean, upon reflections just shows that we actually do be reflecting, isn't it? So, so much to be better at, so much to look forward to. On you lot talking about core life crises, I couldn't tell you, but it is such a thing. I don't know why. I remember when I was 24 turning 25, and the year after I turned 25, them 2 years. So I turned 25 in 2020. So 2019 and the whole, because I turned 25 in October. So the whole year from the beginning of 2020 was just a wild. It was like someone poured drugs in me. There was such a to be fair, like back end of 2019, I think I spoke about this before. I was coming off of it feels like I'm always coming out of some depressive state, but I really was coming out of a very, very low period. And then it felt like a very low period, but it felt like there was like a ray of sunshine suddenly, right? And so like that plus knowing that I was going to turn 25 in 10 months put such a energy in me that I just have never felt in myself. It felt like there was nothing to lose. Just had to go for everything. And I feel like everybody reacts to the quarter life crisis in different ways, but that's how it appeared for me.
Yeah.
That's how it appeared for me. You lost in the middle of it. I turned 28 this year, so if you didn't know, I turned 28 this year. I'm 27 now, and I'm still in the prime of being 27. I'm even an early 27-year-old, and all I can think about is the fact that like
28.
I turned 28 this year. Do you know what I mean? It's such a bozo thing. It happens to me beginning of every year. Because I turned 27 last year, like late last year, and in my head I'm thinking, cool, yeah, I'm still 27. By the time we get to this year, I'm like, oh my God, I'm practically 28, but I'm not.
Bro, Colin turns 30 in 2 years.
You get, dude. You know, is the
That's
essence.
pretty mad to believe,
but the essence of you thinking that you're running out of time,
I don't. That's so. You see how I've just said all of this,
You don't feel like you're running out of time.
Good,
The essence. Let me speak for myself. The essence of me believing that I'm running out of time. That's one of the things I've tried to work on.
Yeah.
Because
Same.
I think
Constantly.
Yeah, I think I especially the way I want my life to go, I think of living so, having so, doing so. I look at my age, I'm like, damn.
I'm running out of time.
I'm running out of time. Like even certain societal pressures. I'm not even talking about like mainstream shit like
marriage
image. Yeah, I'm more talking about something like for me, like moving out, for example, or let's say you're moving out. I'm like, okay, at the age I'm at now, like in my head, I'm saying I can't hit a certain age and still be here because I have no choice. Do you get what I mean? Like if I've chosen to for XYZ reasons, that's fine, but I can't be here because I have no choice. That's insane. I'm running out of time. I've now kind of tried to flip the mindset that I don't think you actually get old.
As old as you let yourself be.
That's it. You're as old as you let yourself be. More time.
That's
my instructor the other day was 46.
Do you get that way?
That's what I've tried to let myself deep. So that's why when I say 28, I'm not shaking in my boots and stuff. And don't get it twisted. Like probably 7 times this year, I'm gonna get in hysterics about my age and seeing somebody buy a house and me being at home. Like
naturally,
it's gonna happen.
It happens,
then you just have to remind yourself, like,
it's for it not to consume you more time.
Reaffirm yourself, like, okay,
like you're okay.
It was verbatim. Guys are buying bottles and tables at clubs whilst girls are buying. It was like the UK dating scene is so funny.
It's so fucked.
Yeah, guys are buying bottles and tables whilst girls are buying apartments.
No, they did quote him. Someone retweeted it and said something like, you're letting girls that buy. He made some dumb.
You know, the moment a nigga starts in a sentence.
It was something dumb.
Yeah,
like,
he in trouble.
and then people were like,
they cooked the other guy.
When I say they cooked him, someone said, you'll make a commentary, your profile picture, your tub is being held together by duct tape. I said, God. I said, LOI, gold.
Yeah.
No, I think it's true as well though. But it's like
yeah, you know, you always. I mean, yeah, it's probably true.
I mean, but it
might not be true. We don't have statistics to back this.
No, we don't have statistics to back it, but
all we have is Instagram posts.
Yeah, and from the posts.
They could be
wait. From the posts that we see between the two genders, men be posting the tables a lot. And women be posting the houses a lot.
Dave, I could be renting and just do this and put a picture, bro. No one knows. No one actually knows the truth. Like one of my main things this year is to stop believing anything. You know, before it's don't believe everything you see on social media. Yeah. Before it's don't believe everything. Now I'm not believing anything I see.
But think about it. But if you follow the logic behind it, yeah. As in from the stereotype of what dating's supposed to be, it makes sense.
Oh, it adds up. Yeah. It adds up. It adds up that the amount that like boys are spending on as I said, tables and vacations. If you equate it to what the girls are saving,
I mean,
You
Because
will
they come
buy-
out and they don't spend the penny.
Me too. I have apartments.
Do you remember that thing on the tier when they posted their receipt of a night out in the club and it came to like 10K or something?
Yeah.
Do you remember? And then they were like, do you know one on about? Well, to be fair, there's probably been more.
It's happened a few times, but I know what you're talking.
It's happened a few times.
Yeah,
I don't know what
it gets like that. And then the girls were like, "Oh yeah, well we only paid for they paid for something that didn't come to like over like
100.
£100, and then over like £100, and then there was like bottles for like £5 and the spending was mad, didn't it? And I just remember it being a big thing in the TO, and I was just like,
That's the way the thing's set up.
It's a scam.
It's a
such a fucking
It's a scam. It's a fraud.
It's
That's the way he is.
And God bless this brother for pointing it out the way he did, because for all the maths that I do and the calculations that I do, because I remember I've talked about it before. I used to say, girls, we used to say this a lot, like girls have money. Girls will have so much money because men, because of their egos, go out and just flinging drinks at people that did not ask, right? Just because, quote unquote, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Flinging tables, flinging bottles.
I'm a victim of it, man. Because I was buying people shots at face.
Let me even give you story time. We went Manny, yeah, and then I drove to Manny. We went Manny for 24 hours.
Spontaneous
Mistake
thing.
number one.
Mistake number one.
Numero uno. Mistake
Numero
number
uno.
one. We went
Many
out.
mistakes on this trip.
So we left like in the AM. We left at like 3 AM. We got there like
Right after another party.
Was it after a party?
Yes.
It was after a
We
party.
went to a day
No,
party.
we lived though.
Yeah, we went to a day
Yeah,
party.
we partied way too much in 2017.
Yeah,
I'll
we
be real.
partied.
Party
We
way
partied.
too much. Was it in 2022?
It was last year.
Oh my god.
It was last year.
We party. No, we
partied.
my reflections from last year.
we partied way too much.
In 2023 was stopping the partying.
I remember
We
vividly.
partied the whole year, man.
I met them because I was driving. I met them, man. I had to go somewhere else, but we ended up meeting.
Yeah.
And then we said they were gonna leave at like 3. We left at like 4. We got there around 8.
Yeah, because I remember I was sleeping at CS's.
Yeah, we got like 8, 9. Everybody was tired. I'm saying everybody. I was tired.
Yeah.
These niggas slept in the car.
Yeah.
I was tired.
He played the whole the Summer Walker album to keep him awake.
Yeah, to keep me awake. You know, them karaoke.
We slept. We had.
Yeah, they slept. So we got there. It was spontaneous.
This is a story time we should have told in the pod earlier.
Yeah, we get there. We park up. We go to the hotel. We were gonna grab a hotel, but why didn't we grab a hotel? It didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense because the time between that we were gonna pay. Because
We-
one of
we're
our
li- we're
two
literally-
of our brethren were already there.
They're already there. We were literally going. So we got there at 9. Let's say we get there at 9. We were leaving, departing before that 12 AM stroke. No. I'm lying.
Yeah, because we both. So let's say we came on Friday night. No, we drove up on Friday night.
We got there Saturday morning.
But we all had to be somewhere on
Sunday morning. So we had to leave that same
Saturday,
AM
yeah.
that Saturday night.
Like we knew we
Sunday
literally
morning.
had 24 hours in Manny.
So we were out. We were out on about.
we decided this-
doing foolishness.
That's the
day
name of the
before.
pod, by the way. 24 hours in man.
24 hours in Manny. Hey.
we
Sounds like we're about to drop a mixtape or a track.
So we were doing foolishness. Then they said, let's go clubbing. I said, okay.
Yeah.
We went clubbing, and you know what? Yeah, I blame my man. I don't want to mention his name. I'm going to blame my man.
Yeah.
When you're going out with people, yeah, know who you're going out with.
Know your friends.
Know thy enemy.
Yeah, know your friends.
No, I'm joking. So we went to a club. One big club there. What was it White China or black something China?
So then I went China White.
China White.
Then I went Club Live the night
Yeah.
before.
So something like
they
that.
wanted to do a different one.
So they want to do a
next
different one.
time. And no, our big mistake. See, no. That was mistake number 1. Wasn't driving to Manny.
No,
Mistake
that was fun.
Yeah, no, that was fun. But that was mistake number 2.
What was mistake number?
Mistake number 1 was that wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned. No,
Yeah.
but that was. But the aim
That was part
to
of the
do.
fun.
Yeah, that was part
but
of the fun.
I'm saying we went with man them that had planned to go.
Okay, no.
Do you get
We went
it?
with man that planned to go. So
So
they
it meant that
allocated
they
done their
their
ting,
whole thing was a bit more
etc.
patterned and
etc.
prepared
Do you
to
get?
go.
We just said, all right, we're gonna pull up.
We
with
said,
you.
oh, the man
We'll
don't get
pull up.
money.
We'll pull up.
See,
We'll pull
the
up.
hotel. We decided to go Manny.
So we pulled up. Fast forward to around like 8. Everyone was getting ready in it. We touched the club. I want to say between 11.
11:30ish.
11:30ish. So we touched the club. These times we get into the club now. Niggas screaming table. I said table. I said table. He said yeah table. I was like okay. Bearing in mind I'm driving back that same night. Yeah. So that means I wasn't drinking at all. Like there was no consumption of alcohol. There's a table. Cool.
Yeah, and he made it a thing of that, like, if we don't get a table, it's pointless.
It's pointless being here. And I low-key saw his point in it. Yeah. Anyways, I saw his point because when you're at the table, it's a different experience. We now got to the table. He gave us the menu. He gave us the menu. We picked what we wanted. The total came up. After he divided it, it wasn't bare, yeah. What was it, like $3 per person or something like that? It was bare for Manny in my opinion. No, but it wasn't.
It was bare. It was bare for a night that you haven't planned for.
It was bare for a night you haven't planned for. But why it was bare? It was bare for a boy that did not drink an ounce of alcohol. So what did I do there?
Oh yeah, you just sat on the table.
What did I do there? The money. I don't even know how we got on this. Moral of the story, know that enemy.
It was because we're talking about how like man them are buying tables, but girls are saving money for mortgages.
And you know, instead of me to say no, just don't do it. Like we don't need to get the table. Me like an egghead, I went to kind of follow trend, and we went to get the table. I enjoyed myself.
Classic case of if you man do it,
if you man do it first, I enjoyed myself.
Number 2 point I'm gonna pick up. So the first thing I said this year, I'm not believing anything I see on social media. Secondly, this year I'm learning to say no.
Yeah,
man. I actually don't know how to say no. You know, like real life, I don't know how to say no.
I said that because already this year. Yeah, I went to one party that was a friend of ours.
Yeah,
and then
this year. Sorry, I had to remember this year. I remember this year is only 16 days old
because we went out on New Year's Day. See, that was really mistake number one. But I've been to like 3 months already this year.
No, we've been to
and I remember I think
we've been out every weekend.
No, we've been. Yeah, exactly. So this is the third week.
Man, do you know what's funny? Do you know the other thing that's funny? Yeah? You know how we went out bare last year? Yeah. Yeah. We don't realize we're them guys that go out bears, but we are.
We don't realize. And you know what's funny? Like, some people message you and be like, "Oh, you're always out," and I'm there like,
do you know what I'm talking about? I don't get that. Do you know why? Because I don't post.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah. Okay, see, that's why I should be busting it. I should
you post that you're asked it. Yeah. You post that you're asked it.
I should stop posting. Because I'll post and I'll get, out there, and I'll be denying. I'll be like, nah, man. Nah. Because I'm always thinking, there's somebody else.
And you know, you convince yourself you're even right now, bro. I don't go out. No, man. I've been out every weekend.
Because obviously we still don't end up going to all the things that we get invited to. There's stuff that we don't go to.
There's nothing that we look at and we're like, I'm not
going,
Please, but then we'll be out. I'm hibernating until summer.
Nah, bro, like, I remember
I'll be out for Easter, for resurrection, but after that, I'm hibernating until summer.
It was our friend's 25th last weekend, and I remember when Gio dropped me off at the car, I said, bro, I don't have the self-control to say no. So just don't invite me out. Because I will not say no. This year I'm learning to say no.
So that's the next thing that we're doing this year. We're learning to say no, innit? Yeah. And it's not just motives. It's just in general. Cause ego don't be letting me say no to bare things. I'm telling you,
bro. Bare things.
Do you know what?
My whole thing is made from like kind of the people I'm with. That's why I be getting FOMO.
Yeah.
With that, but otherwise I'm just like,
I think there's one thing I got made a FOMO for, and it was the K-Trap concert, and the reason why it even peed me off is because I put in a group chat, and you know when you have useless people.
I know.
So I put in a group chat.
Being around them niggas.
I put in the group chat before
live or indirect to me.
Yeah, 100%. I put in the group chat before the tickets dropped. Where was it?
When was it? November?
It was November still.
I put in a group chat. I was like, man, let's go.
Yeah, I missed out on that one.
Man, let's go. You know, I think it's because I'm the adventurous one in it. So if it's holidays, me that's brought it up. So I think they just sick of me at this point. So they aired. I'm seeing the day of K-Trap. I'm seeing
everybody's
That was a big blunder still, and a couple of the man that went. A couple
of the man went. I said, and I had to swallow my
your disappointment.
Yeah.
Try.
Don't let FOMO make you broke. Yeah. That's the moral of this conversation.
Yeah, it's definitely and there's definitely a thing. I think you definitely need to find a way to overcome FOMO. Like I think. Well, to be fair, if you can be that color and be without it, great. But I think there's certainly a way that you can kind of.
You can curve it. You can
curve it. Like you can settle it. Like, do you know what I mean? Innit? Like,
because I don't know. I think one of the reasons why I don't get FOMO is because is what you said about if my people. So like most of the things. It's two things. Is if my people aren't there, I don't care. So like if it's a motive that my people aren't there, I wouldn't care. If we know each other. The other thing is I think I think I'm the lit one. So if I'm there, it wasn't lit anyways. And then the third thing, and this obviously is all in my head, innit? And the third thing really is that like,
but thinking you're the shit's half the battle. Yeah.
Everything is good on camera.
Everything looks good.
Everything. Is
One
good
thing
on
I've
camera.
learned, yeah, when I see everything looks good on camera, and when these influencers talk about angles, I really understand.
Because it's cap.
Everything looks
It's
good on
cap.
camera.
You go there and it probably wasn't lit. Do you know what I mean? You go there and everyone was on the walls.
Yeah,
do you know what I
me.
mean? It was dead. It was music. So
They turned on touch a button and that's when it was lit.
yeah.
And afterwards,
That, I don't know.
10
man,
minutes
so.
of litness.
And that's it.
What's the one thing? I'm not talking about thingies. What's the one thing for you that you might be targeting this year or that you want this year? I already have my answer, so I'm kind of cheating, to be fair.
I have my answer, Loki,
One
as well.
thing that you want this year.
Alright, well, you don't got your answer. I haven't got
No,
mine.
you probably do.
What we do?
It's probably more than one thing.
Yeah, it's
okay.
definitely more than one
Do a
thing.
few
But,
then.
but
I think like how I execute things is key for me this year. So I think last year I got to a stage, largely influenced by university, because I was so over it. But I got to a stage where for me it didn't matter how I got something done; it was just about getting it done. So I think I want to bring back a certain level of pride in my work, in all that I do, in all avenues. So like execution, that's a key one for me. And then obviously discipline across all areas of my life. So like a large one being like gym and sports, but then also in like relationships and just like businesses as well. So actually like applying myself to all these things that I say I want to do. And like the other thing is that like you can have like 200 ideas, isn't it? Yeah. And honestly, if you want to do all 200 of them, that's fine. But I think there's also about like having structure and knowing like how you want to do things, because it's no good kind of just saying to yourself, I want to do this, because then you're unfulfilled, isn't it? So then for me, I think it's a case of actually planning and being disciplined and saying, okay, I want to do this then, and I want to do this then, and knowing it's okay if I don't do it now. Do you know what I'm saying? innit? So yeah, those are the things for me.
Yes, I think that's an amazing answer. Joe?
I'm one key one saving. I want to save. I have goal for how much and for how long it's gonna take and for what reason. So I want to save. And I've learned to sacrifice. I learned I'm having to sacrifice, and this is where no comes in. I've learned that I've had to sacrifice certain things to enable me to do that. So last year was 5 holidays. Unfortunately, it'll probably only be like 1 or 2 this year. But save is a key thing. Execution as well. But I think I want to, because you said you got to a point last year was as long as it was done, you didn't care how you do it. I want to get to the point where I actually do it, right? So I release music. I think I'm caught up on the idea of perfection so much in comparison to my heavily backed counterparts, is what I'm going to say, that I kind of usually end up talking myself out of executing it in its entirety. So executing and then worrying about the polish up later. What am I working on? Those are probably the main two.
That's it.
I was gonna sound bare strange compared to you guys, but I think my stuff always sounds strange anyways. The main thing for me this year, guys, believe it or not, is that actually I want to have a good relationship with God. I feel like I'm finally in the place where I want to double down on it. I think I try every year, and I don't know, it doesn't quite work out. But so that's the number one thing for me. Number two thing for me is I want to sacrifice. More in everything that I do. So with everything that I do, I feel like in all of the character building, I become a very, very I won't say selfish, but I'm quite self-centered. So like, just coming out of a space where it's not all about me, and it's more about what's going on in general, real life. If that makes sense. So less self-centered, more sacrificed. I don't know to explain it more. It's around discipline as well. So like it's not around just you. It's not if it benefits you. It's not if it feels good. It needs to be done. Do you know what I mean? But like because of where I'm coming from, that looks like sacrifice to me. Does that make sense? So just
that makes sense.
And then and I hope that basically spreads into everything that I do. So like all my relationships, the way I deal with money, the way I deal with people, the way I deal with business, the way I deal with failure and success. Yeah. So that's my tangible intangibles that we're looking to hit this year, and then hopefully we do. Like looking at what I tried to do last year, like I didn't hit the target of it properly, but I learned a lot. From those that being my targets. Like I mean, trying to be really critical of my character. I learned a lot. So hopefully we go again this year.
And we learn a lot this year, boys.
Push on push, boys. Push on
Grow
push.
a lot this year. Unfiltered to the world.